I feel that loneliness sparks conflict, because just as anxiety comes out as a sign that there's something wrong, anger, aggression, fear, all of these are also messaging. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a decoupling of language from the person who spoke it. We talked about this last night at dinner. For everyone listening to this, for all of human history, to hear a conversation between the three of us, you'd have to be sitting right there, right? And there'd be a fire here, and we'd be sitting around a fire talking, and you'd be able to hear and absorb this information. Well, now you're hearing it divorced from us. And so if, I don't know how you vote, and I really don't want to know, but let's pretend we were polar opposite. Sure. And we're eating an incredible meal last night, and you're like, I'm voting for this guy. I would go, that's ridiculous. Pass the salad, right? And we'd be sitting at a table having that interaction. And my body would know I'm safe. Now, and by the way, when my body is anchored in and I know I'm safe, that allows me to rappel off the edge and have all kind of wild intellectual battles and conversations. That's what I miss about the working in the academy. It was a bunch of people who studied one thing for 25 years, sitting around having lunch together, arguing. It was amazing. And we all worked for the same place. And we all took our kids to the same elementary school. So it was awesome. It's when you divorce the person from this idea, and then you begin to a process of slow dehumanization. And all great major conflicts throughout human history have started with some zeitgeist of dehumanizing people. They're vermin, they're cockroach, right? It starts this slow, they're not people, and now we can do horrible, awful things to them. I think that's what this digitization of the discourse has allowed us to do.
So true. The othering. Yeah. Othering of them. You are not of me, so you are therefore going to be destroyed.
Right. And when someone's eating, that's the beauty of the Lord's Supper in Christian traditions, is I don't care how much money you have. I don't care if you're homeless. I don't care what your vote. Everybody's got to eat. So it forces everybody back. And in a society that has sanitized everything, we don't... I'm trying to think of a kind way to say this. We go to the powder room, right? We go to the bathroom. I didn't take a bath in there. There's no shower in there, but I just went to the bathroom, right? We have sanitized the things that make us human. We have whitewashed it all. And the last thing we got is we all got to eat. And we all get stuff in our teeth. And we all have little bits of spittle that come out. And so that's the beauty of it. Everybody's forced back to this thing. And it makes us human again.
Well, even that, the brain chemistry from eating, right? You and I had a great meal last night. We're eating, we're putting serotonin into our bodies. Oh, it feels so good to eat. You are more likely to have a positive outlook on the other person because you're eating. Yeah. And it feels good, but then you have conversation. You're smiling at each other, you're eating. Hey, how's that food? Oh, it's pretty good. Oh, you're going to vote for the other guy? Well, that's pretty stupid, but you know what? I still like it. For some reason, I still like you. Yeah. Sure. And you're eating and you're enjoying it.
And you're actually supplementing these hard conversations with food, because as you're eating, you're generating serotonin, you're getting the sugar spikes. They're helping you kind of step over these gaps that before you might have actually fallen into and gotten upset. And, now your brain's busy. Like it's too happy to be angry, right? And that's another big part about the tradition, right? One of the things we're doing with your events is that communal meals are a big portion of Adam's retreats and events going forward, so that people can have this bonding experience over a place that is safe. With my daughter and I, we actually have the best conversations over dinner. Over dinner, we sit down and either her and I and my girlfriend will talk about something that's connected to religion or spirituality, or she will bring one of her stuffed animals, and we will have to communally explain to the stuffed animal why, he's supposed to be good. Simba is her favorite stuffed animal. Why Simba is supposed to be good and what it's like and what it means. And it is exactly that building of that community. So it really does seem to me that the reconnecting to our actual humanity, our bodies, hugging, touching, eating, sleeping, being close to each other is key to creating a conflict-proof system.
I have a hypothesis that we've extracted human touch so much from our culture. I remember a decade ago, I was at an HR training for a university where I worked, and I'll never forget the HR person, who was a great person, just doing their job, but recommended, as the university, we recommend the air high five. And I said, what? They said, if something's good, it's an air high five so as to avoid any sort of confusion or negative impact one way or the other. And I remember thinking, we are taking away piece by piece the things that make us human, because there are evil actors out there. There's gross creeps that we should be able to fire and get rid of, and you can't be here if that's who you are, if you're going to use somebody else for your gratification. But because we have created systems where we can't get rid of people for those type of things, we have just created this overly separate, sanitized world, and I think our bodies are starving from it.
So there's two things that I see absolutely killing men and families and kids at the same time. Think of how little physical contact most men get. If you're not married, if you don't have kids, you probably don't have much physical contact with any human being on the planet, ever. Now, physical contact is so incredibly important for your oxytocin, for your GABA, for your serotonin. We keep going back to serotonin, but it's such a crucial driver of the brain chemistry. But men are starved for touch. Now, when are we allowed to touch? Only during physical intercourse. Right. Only during that. So no wonder Tinder is exploding, and no wonder guys will hire professionals. But you know what professionals often do is not that. It's usually touch. It's usually snuggling even. Guys are hiring professionals
huge
for
part
that
of the
now.
culture in Asia. Like in Japan, there's literally girlfriend experiences, non-sexual, nothing. But they literally will sit there with you, talk to you, hold your hand, all of that. They'll literally buy serotonin.
If you like this clip, I know you're going to enjoy the full episode. You can watch it right here.